So if Jesus is God, then how is he God and is not seeking the will of himself? Because we know that Jesus himself taught his disciples that let thy will be done on earth as it is in the heaven, which means the will of God is done on earth and in the heaven. But Jesus himself said that I did not come to do my will, but the will of he that sent me. So how can he be God and he's not doing his own will? Can't you guys think about these things? Can't you look into these things and use your common sense, your brain, your God-given intellect and intelligence? So how can you commit? Like I don't know. I let it. How do you guys, like those of you that say you leave Islam for Christianity, like how possible? Christianity, it's not even a competition. Christianity have nothing to compete with Islam. Wallah. Like it has nothing to compete with Islam. Because it is just so clear that this is a dogmatic belief. Like it is so clear, it is unambiguous that Christianity has nothing to offer except just false hope and giving you this high feeling that when you die, just believe in Jesus Christ, like feeling of irresponsibility. Not taking not taking responsible for your deeds and actions. Telling you that you have a soft landing, just believe anything you do, in as much you believe in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, you are saved. This is what Christianity, offers on a general level, on a general scale. This is a belief that no one will take this except someone irresponsible. Oh. Like you don't want to be responsible for your deeds and actions, so you're looking for someone that will now carry it for you. So you feel that Jesus have died, so his death has served as atonement for my sin. So you feel like, in fact, a video, I will share the video with you, where the lady was saying that she left Islam because in Islam you have to be working, for paradise. You have to be doing good deeds. You have to ensure that you don't do those things that can take you to hellfire. So your paradise is not guaranteed. Because you have to work for it, you have to strive for it, you have to do good deeds, you have to, you have to pray, you have to. This was what she was saying, In Islam, you have to dress well, because if you don't dress well, it can make you to enter hellfire. If you don't pray, you can enter hellfire. If you don't do charity, you can enter hellfire. So Islam makes you to be like you are not comfortable. You have to be doing all of those things. But in Christianity, like everything is very easy because God knows that you cannot do those things. I'm like, those people that are doing those things, did they die? You said God knows that we cannot do it. How are we not able to do it? Like, is it Jesus Christ is praying to God? Look at that verse. Where early in the morning, he left his place and going to the wilderness to pray to God. But you cannot pray to God. And you say you're Christ-like. How did he dress? Like, what exactly does Islam brought that is difficult to practice? Is it telling you to engage in act of righteousness? Is it telling you to abstain from sins and vices? Not to commit, crimes and transgressions against humanity, not to engage in act of injustice? Is this what is difficult? Is it telling you to be good to your parents, worship God alone, don't engage in fornication, in adultery, in gambling, in smoking, in drinking, all of these acts that can even harm your health, harm your life, and harm the life of people in the society? Is it that, is that the difficult thing that is difficult for you to practice? Is it telling you to put on the hijab so that you cover yourself and have a sense of modesty, sense of chastity? Is this what is difficult? Like, I don't get. Is it telling you to engage in act of charity, to elevate one another, to help those close to you? Give the poor, give the needy, help the orphan, help the widow. Is this what is difficult to practice? Telling you that when you do these things, it takes you closer to the mercy of God. But you say that it is difficult. I don't get what is difficult there. What is difficult there? But it is easy. Go to the church and dance, dance and sing, and so that is what you think will guarantee you salvation? Like, you mean paradise should be so cheap to access? If God Almighty creates paradise and creates hellfire, and people will enter both, do you think that He will make it so cheap? Even with human being, a normal justice system should reward what is commendable, and should punish what is evil. There should be reward and punishment, right? There should be justice. So if Islam is telling you that when you do these things, and we look at those things, these are acts of righteousness. These are right of humanity. I'm talking of Islam, not talking of what some Muslims are doing. Because this is part of what the guy was bringing out. There are some Muslims, in fact, he said that whenever you hear Allahu Akbar, Muslims want to kill. That Muslims, they only find pleasure in killing. I said, you said you are a Muslim before. So when you are a Muslim, so you also kill Abi? When you are a Muslim, at least you say you're a Muslim before, and you say that every Muslim worldwide, they find pleasure in killing. Whenever they, in fact, he said something. I'm like, what made me to even stop discussing with him was when he said that whenever you hear Allahu Akbar, it means the Muslim want to kill. I said that, but in your street, I believe there are Muslims who pray. He said that they too want to kill. He said they would have wanted to kill, but it is because of their immune. Like, so when you are practicing Islam, so you also kill Abi.
It also is a
Abi, you say you are a Muslim before, and you said every Muslim in the world, this is our mentality: to kill, to destroy, to terrorize people, to be unjust. This is so. That means that when you are a Muslim, is this what you are doing?
You are a murderer.
Is this your afa, your parents? Your parents are still Muslims. Your parents, is that what they are doing? So your parents are killing people, Abi? They will just talk without thinking. Just come online, be saying some like, can't you use your common sense? You want to judge a religion. You are now judging a religion on the action of some individuals. Look at Christianity now. Is everyone there a saint? Don't you see pastors committing acts of injustice? Taking money from their church members unjustly, sleeping with the wife of their church members, even pastors engaging in charms, in rituals, burying people alive in the church. Does this mean that we should now use this to say that all Christianity, that's the way they do? We don't do that because we are more mature than that. If you want to debate a religion, we debate the religion based on the source of the religion. Islam says anyone that kills an innocent soul will not spare the fragrance of paradise. Whoever kills a non-believer, any Muslim that kills a non-Muslim who is in peace with the Muslim that killed that person will not smell paradise. This was said by the Prophet in an authentic hadith, that if you should kill any non-Muslim, any non-combatant non-Muslim who is not fighting against you, and you kill the person, you won't smell paradise. This was said by the Prophet. So you think I will now know that the Prophet prohibits killing of non-Muslims, but because I see some evil Muslims or some evil people who ascribe themselves to Islam, I will now say that because of what they are doing, that means the entirety of Islam is bad. No one does this except for someone who is unjust. No one does this. So I gave him so many verses of the Bible. In fact, I told him that if you say Jesus is God, and there's only one God, yesterday, today, and forever. That means in the Old Testament, Jesus is God. He said, yes, Jesus is God. And I said, okay, let's look at Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42 verse 1. It says, here is my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen one, in whom my soul delights. I will put my spirit on him, and he will bring justice to the nation. I said, all Christian scholars, they accept and agree that this verse is a prophecy about Jesus Christ. This verse is telling us about the coming of Jesus Christ. He said, yes. I said, what is the adjective used for Jesus there? It says, behold my servant. I said, who is that servant there? He can't say anything. I said, this is Jesus. All your pastors accept that the servant that is referred to here is Jesus. Now you said Jesus is God, and God is the one talking here. So is it God that is calling himself my servant? Yeah. Behold my servant. God is the one talking. And that servant there, all your religious scholars, they said it is a prophecy about Jesus. So meaning that servant there is referring to Jesus Christ. So if God is God, and God is now saying that my servant, and you say Jesus is God, so is Jesus the one calling himself my servant? It doesn't make any sense now. Religion should not be confusing like this. This is a matter of paradise and hellfire. It should be clear. It shouldn't be ambiguous.